This is my favorite art book for new artists, or people who think they can't learn how to draw. This is You Can Draw in 30 Days by Mark Kistler. The book is actually set up very similarly to how I ran my art classes at the middle school level. It has a fantastic outline at the beginning, not only giving you a set of things you will be learning, but also having the wisdom to show off a little icon for each one. In the first few pages, the author goes over some techniques, his thoughts on the learning process, and explains how the book is going to work. But if you are a new artist, I would only take a quick glance at all of this before jumping into the first prompt. A sphere. Over a decade of putting together art curriculum from kindergarten through 12th grade, this is what I too landed on as being perhaps the most ideal starting place for drawing. You can learn so much from such a simple thing. You learn pencil control, basic shading, how light functions, and yet, all of that is wrapped up in a drawing that is not intimidating, that can be learned in only a few minutes. And that actually brings me to perhaps the best thing about this book. It is structured in such a way as to help new artists learn the first couple of techniques and skills quickly. You get to taste success fast, and that propels you into learning more difficult things. Art is difficult to learn, primarily because it is a category of loosely collected skills rather than only one. This means that any potential new artist has to learn dozens of disconnected strategies, techniques, and knowledge in order to construct beautiful images. But this book is built in such a manner that you, as the artist, get to feel good about your progress quickly. You get to learn how to draw a sphere, a cube, then turn them into planets or houses so you are not stuck in the mundane fundamentals, bored with the very basics. Very quickly, he takes you into things that are interesting and funny, and humor is one of the best tools any teacher can use. In fact, when he gets to this chapter called Cool Koalas, I actually laughed out loud the first time I went through the book, because it seemed like such a random thing to include. And I'm not showing all of it here because I don't want to give it away. I want you to have some curiosity to perhaps pick this book up for yourself. But I found it funny that he spent some time actually going over how to draw a cute koala. And at the beginning of that chapter, he talks about taking a break from all of the work, all of the grinding that all of the prior drawings had been, which honestly, as an art teacher, I didn't feel they were all that grindy at all. But the fact that he allows for that he injects some humor, some good taste, some fun into it. Even in this book that is just laden with fun ways of drawing interesting beginner things, it gives me insight into the author, into who he must be as an art teacher, and it gives me a lot more faith in him. When I first stumbled upon this book, I thought it was a little bit simple, but I decided to give it a try, and I actually went through the entirety of it myself. Now, obviously, I've been at this for a while. I was probably in my mid-30s when I tried this book out for the first time, and it only took me maybe 2 or 3 days to go through the entirety of it. But I found such wisdom in all of the words, in how things were constructed, the way they were put together. In fact, when I went back to teach the next year, I revamped a lot of my lesson planning and how I was looking at structuring things, modeling some of it off of the structures in this very book. So, unlike a lot of art books, this is one that I have actually gone all the way through from stem to stern. I don't know that I've read every single word on the pages, but I've read most of them, and they're tremendously helpful. I think this book is probably at its best for young artists, but not young people necessarily. If you are like me in your mid to late 30s, or if you're a little bit older than me, or even if you're in your 20s and you're giving it a shot for the first time, a book like this is going to be wonderful at getting you started. And that probably makes it an excellent gift as well. Because if you were to give this book to somebody who's actually going to follow through with it, read it, practice the things, they are going to improve. And frankly, there's not a whole lot more praise that I could give an art book than that. I love this book. As a teacher, it was such a valuable tool for new students, and if you're looking to get into art, this book will be a great addition to your life. Mark Kistler does a wonderful job of introducing the concepts in a way that is approachable for an artist of any level. If you are setting out on your journey, or someone you love is, I cannot recommend this book enough. Well, as always, thanks for tuning in. I hope that this was helpful. And if you enjoyed this book review, I would encourage you to pick up You Can Draw in 30 Days by Mark Kistler.